Hello, everyone. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. The upper Midwest getting hit with, for some, their first round of snow, and it's heavy, sticky, causing some crashes. We have a roads and a radar update beginning right now.
Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
All right, take a look at this. You're looking at a photo from the Minnesota Department of Transportation in southern Minnesota and central Minnesota, Silver Lake area, just off to the east of Hutchinson, Minnesota, where a major crash has taken place. Look at the depth of the snow off of the road. Very slushy roads have caused some challenges to traffic across the area. We'll get to this in a second. Let's take a look at that radar and show you that we've actually had in the last few minutes thunder snow. As you see that little bolt of yellow there light up the skies over the Minneapolis area in the northwestern part of the metro, so probably not far from, say, near Rogers and Champlin. So you see that little bolt of lightning, thunder snow. This is convective activity. Very heavy rain on the east side near River Falls in Wisconsin, cross the river, and wow, the Twin Cities getting some snow right now. We'll take you to road reports and some road cameras here in a minute. If you have a question on Hutch's weather, drop it in the comments, whether you're watching on Facebook, if you watch it on YouTube, or you're watching live right now on hutchesweather.com, streaming on all platforms so that you can get the latest. Now, anyone traveling will start to run into snow in and around St. Cloud. The radar shows it changing from green to blue. It's fairly light there, but still certainly a surprise as you head into the Twin Cities. Take a look at a couple of these snowfall reports, shall we, as we take a look at some of these around the metro area. This is on the north side out here, this storm report coming from Isanti out there, 2.5 inches of snow at the time of the measurement. Pine City, north on 35 as you're heading up to Duluth right now, 2 inches of snow, and it's wet and heavy. By the way, the pink would be a mix of rain and snow, maybe even some grapple, we call it, and this is very common in convective storm. It's almost like soft snow pellets. So if you see little squishable pellets or snowballs, if you will, falling from the sky, that's called a grapple, and a pretty cool thing to see. Now, out near Chaska, we do have a report from the Hennepin area of 2 inches of snow. So a lot of 2-inch reports here. Annandale, 3.5 inches of snow. And out near Hutchinson, we have a crash that we'll show you here just in a minute. But basically a 2-inch snow report there. So this is 2 inches of wet, heavy, slushy snow. And it's moving north as we go into the Duluth area, where we did get a wind report out there. Some wind gusts from a non-thunderstorm event, 53 miles per hour. That'll challenge the follicles out there. Let's see if we have any comments. Clarine, good to have you. Snow in Bemidji. No, all of this should stay out of Bemidji. Notice we do have some green near the Brainerd Lakes area to your south and to your southeast. But Little Falls, there's going to be a transition zone. Let's go right to the Minnesota DOT cameras and we'll show you a couple more of these shots here. But first, we'll take a look at a couple of stills from these that I snapped just as I began here. Road covered. This is again just off to the east of Hutchinson at that Silver Lake area. Now, as we take a look at another photo from the region, look at Malacca. South of Mille Lacs, you can't even see out there. So that's where the heavier band of snow is right now. And so this is going to impact your travel. Slow it down. You can see the little tire tracks through the highway there, indicating that you're going to drive through some slushy nonsense as you go through. And that is, again, on Highway 169 south of the Mille Lacs area. And now let's take a look at what we have going on with regards to the road reports from the Minnesota DOT. Minnesota 511 is where you can get all the information you're going to need if you have travel plans out there for your Halloween. But essentially what we are looking at here is some snowy conditions. All right, I better mind what I'm doing here one moment while I pull up and zoom into a couple of these cameras here. So what we'll do is zoom in where you see the pink areas here in and around the cities and points to the west. Those roads are difficult travel conditions right now. So basically from, say, the Redwood Falls area through Hutchinson, and as we go zoom in on Hutch, you can see here, and that's not me. You don't need to zoom in on me. This is close as we're going to get. Okay, that's it. Now, in Hutchinson, here you go. We do have a asterisk there. When we go on that, there is a crash, and it says that basically from the Vale Avenue area and 200th Street, or 1 to 2 miles north of the Hutchinson area, look out for a crash. The road is closed to all traffic except emergency vehicles in that area. So road conditions may or may not have played a role with that. But look at the view from the snowplow here. This is along that Highway 7 corridor just off to the west. So you can see they have got their work cut out for them. Definitely equipped to handle it. But notice the darkness of the clouds. That's pretty telling here. We have some convective type snow. The thicker the clouds are, the less sunlight makes it through, and they appear darker to the eye. So a great shot here from our hard-working DOT professionals doing their best to keep everybody on top of the situation there and out of the ditch. So slow it down. And again, don't crowd the plow. Let them do their work and give them plenty of room. Now let's take a look at a couple of other cameras here in real time. Now, as you go out towards St. Cloud, I told you on I-94, if you happen to be traveling, what you're going to start to see is some areas that look like this. So decreased visibility right now as we look in live from the DOT department there in Minnesota. You're looking at I-94 east of County Road 75 here. So traffic moving along just dandy, but certainly a reduction in visibility out there being captured on that live camera. Now, as we take a look in town, in around, say, Sauk Rapids and the Waite Park area, you can see it's accumulating. The snow is on the old grassy areas out there. Now, as we take you in a little bit closer to the cities on Highway 10, that's this one just on the north of the interstate here, you can see we start getting into some red lines there. That's impacting traffic a little bit. Whoop, this must be from a different day. That shot is not right now. Let's take a look at something else. Here we go. Now you're looking at US Highway 10 at the Highway 10 intersection there. And again, you can see the snow is accumulating on the road surfaces out there as it's at wet, heavy snowman making snow out there as you approach into the Elk River area. What about the metro area on the west side? We do have some snow accumulating. Look at this. This is Brooklyn Boulevard there and US 169 in and around the Twin Cities. Some significant snow flying through the skies there, not far from where we saw the thunder snow just moments ago. Taking a look north of town on Highway or Interstate 35 rather as we get to the north, and let's see where it starts picking up. We have rain and maybe a little bit of snow mixing in here that you can see some white on the side of the road there. So a mix of precipitation at US 61 and I-35. Basically, you're looking at the southbound lane there at County Road 22. So up there north near the let's see, North Munich area, that's where we have the rainfall. And then let's see where it switches over to becoming more snow. Gets a little more snowy farther south down there on that I-35 corridor as you approach the Twin Cities. So that's what's going on there. See if I have any questions from any of you out there. Clarine asked, okay, Bonnie, you're doing a wonderful service here by sharing Hutch's post. If you have friends traveling to or from the cities, go ahead and tag them and tag their name, or just tag your friends and they will be able to see the broadcast here. You can get the latest on hutchesweather.com. You're welcome. Watching from St. Hilaire. Thanks so much, Leora. Good to have you on board as well. Okay, so that's a look at those questions. Let's see if we have any others. We have some weather. We'll get back to the radar right now and show you some other current conditions that are going on across the region on this spooky Halloween for the Twin Cities. Now, it's not like a huge blizzard or anything like that, but certainly it's going to be impactful for traffic and travel today and for trick-or-treaters tonight. We have some mighty cold air on the backside of this system. So as we look into the Dakotas here, we got north wind coming through. It's stronger wind out to the east, as a matter of fact, closer to that storm system as it's working its way through. Let's take a look at your temperatures right now across the region. 34 in Fargo-Moorhead. Are you kidding me? 45 degrees in Minot right now with Bismarck at 36 degrees, less than golden there. I'm going to take a look at a couple of comments. Thanks so very much. Showing that there is rain in Prescott, Wisconsin from the... well, let's just thank you very much. I appreciate the update. And good morning to you, Scott. Thanks for joining me. Okay, and we do have a place that we can check here. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you. I'll just go ahead and a friend of mine has a bunch of rail cams out there, and it's a great place to check. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that in a moment. But for now, looks like we've got the content going on. Carol Peterson says, what is it going to be like tomorrow in the Twin Cities? This system is out of here, and it's going to be changing and exiting. So for the evening tonight for trick-or-treaters in the Twin Cities, things are going to be very wet, and the system will be exiting out of the area And then tomorrow looks a little better, but tomorrow on your Friday, we could get a chance for some flakes in and around the Fargo area. We'll update the forecast here in just a bit. And I appreciate your question there, Carol. Let me show you something else that's really cool to look at. How much has our temperature changed in the last 24 hours? This is a fantastic way to get a feel for who is really noticing a big difference in their weather. And look at this, the temperatures in and around Rochester, central parts of Wisconsin, straight down through Kansas City, Missouri, where we had severe weather rolling through Oklahoma City, through Kansas City and Iowa last night. This is where the biggest change in temperatures. What does a blue streak mean? Let me tell you, it isn't warm. I'm going to tell you that much. 35 degrees cooler right now in around that Rochester area and the Iowa border with southern Minnesota. The Twin Cities have cooled off a good 20 degrees over this time yesterday. Kansas City, 30 degrees cooler. Oklahoma City says, wow, the big chill is on, 22.5 degrees cooler there. This cool pool is spreading through Missouri right now, heading into northwest Arkansas. They're not far from, well, Rogers, Arkansas. And as we look up here into the Green Bay area, a 30-degree drop in temperatures. It's just plummeting out there. So that is what we have going on. Big time warm up there in Maine and Quebec. Let's see how much they're warmer than yesterday, about 20 degrees warmer. That tells us the change. Now, if you bear with me, I will answer your question on the forecast for the Twin Cities as we go into the day tomorrow. And to do that, I'm going to pull up a model data. And while I'm doing that, what I will do is let this load. So you're going to see this loading here in just a bit. We'll worry more about the radar than we will anything else. So you're going to see a bunch of numbers pop up here, but I'll clean this up a little bit. And this is one of the beauties of Hutch's Weather, where I can answer detailed questions and get into your questions as well. So now it's time for those. Go ahead and drop a question or comment in the comment section here on whatever platform you're watching on. And again, I appreciate all of you for following Hutch's Weather. Okay, we're going to let this load up, and while it's loading up, you'll see that this storm system will be on its way out. In the meantime, while this is loading up, what I will do is take a look at that good old-fashioned satellite loop. You can see what the clouds look like associated with this storm system. Here are the Dakotas. Notice that cloud cover starting to spread into our northern counties out there, and the clouds here in the FM or Fargo-Moorhead area keeping us on the cloudy side. And it's a cool day, as you saw, 34 degrees. We're going to have a struggle to get to 40. Thicker clouds here, where we see some shadowy puffiness to these clouds. This is visible satellite imagery showing taller clouds casting shadows on lower clouds, and that's how we can see the texture, and that explains some of the thunder snow that we were seeing just a bit ago. Now, when we take a look at some national storm reports as well, let me see if I've got this for you, and we will take a look here. This is a national snow reports database, and look at the mountains out here. Wow, unbelievable. Okay, so as we take a closer look at some of these reports that have been shared here, let me go ahead and there we go. Okay, pardon me, I got to zoom into this map. On the right side, by the way, you can see the table form. Right, Wyoming with 14.2 inches of snow in the last 24 hours. How about good old-fashioned Casper, Wyoming? Ringing in with 14 inches of snow. So the mountains where this storm emanated from of Wyoming seeing some, well, very healthy snowfall amounts. A foot of snow in the Lander, Wyoming area, 6 miles to the southwest of that. And south of Gillette, there's that Wright, Wyoming 14-inch report. Casper, yeah, you didn't miss the picnic either. Now, we did have a little Black Hills snow. 4 there was the report in and around the area, but look at all these Twin Cities areas starting to show up, and now you can see them. 3.5 inches reported here, 4 miles northeast of everybody's favorite Maple Lake, 1.5 inches in Bethel. And as we look down in the southwest cities area, the Bonifacius area, 2 whole inches of fluffy flakiness, and it's that heavy wet style there. So that's what's going on with those. Now let's get to your forecast. Thanks for your patience as I let that system load up here. And now you can take a look at what the forecast holds as we go through the evening. Look at this. Strong thunderstorms rolling through Memphis all the way through the portions of southern Illinois tonight. And then you see that backwards comma shape common with storm systems where we have the heavier rain pushing through the Twin Cities now. Thunder, and it does change over to some snow. You're going to notice as we head toward the trick-or-treating hours that this is gone for Minneapolis as we cross into the evening. Let me put the time up here of the model data so you can follow along. So by 9 o'clock tonight, a little earlier than that, it will be all but out of the Twin Cities area. 5 o'clock, still wet, still white, and still chilly for trick-or-treaters with those winds. And Duluth, if you're in Duluth, if you're in Superior, if you're in Ironwood and in the upper peninsula there, you're going to have a chance at seeing some of the rain showers. Just be persistent. Now, overnight and on Friday is what your question was. We have fairly quiet weather here in the Twin Cities expected. And then as we go through the remainder of our forecast period on Friday, notice that little burp or hiccup in the forecast, midday showers in the Dakotas, mainly pushing out of South Dakota and into Fargo. That's your Friday afternoon and evening, a chance for a shot of snot, a chance of some rain, maybe mixing with a little bit of snow with our cooler temperatures working its way through. So that's a look there. Scott, do you see any big storms coming from the Washington area that may or may not hit North Dakota? There is in the Pacific Northwest a huge storm system that's going to impact the weather there. Storms coming from the Pacific Northwest that are coming right at us have to cross the Rocky Mountains. They lose a lot of moisture. It's those ones that move out of Colorado that give us a better chance. So I see nothing in the immediate future that is really concerning or a bullseye for the state right now, but I will update you tonight on the rest of that, Scott. Thank you very much. Let's go ahead and take a look at a little bit of information here. Sorry about that. I have a phone call coming in, but that's what happens when you're live and on a broadcast or on a live stream. I want to take you to some details with regards to a cool site that I want to just share with you here, where you can see cameras across Minnesota, and you can do this anytime. So let's see if I can pull this up here. Let's go to Hutch's Weather. Yeah. Okay, so hutchesweather.com, you have your interactive radar and all kinds of fun there. And now if we, let me see, I'm looking for my, okay, I'm seeing all kinds of fun stuff here. Scott, I think I put that in a different directory here. So let me go here. Okay, well, I would appreciate it here if we go ahead, the Northern Transcom Railcam Network. Go ahead and put a link in the comments here on the YouTube channel. If you don't mind, I'd really appreciate that, because I must have misplaced my fast link to it, and it's obviously not very fast. So your forecast for the Twin Cities looks quiet, to answer your question there, and I hope that did that and answered that for you. Let me see if I have any coming in on the Facebook channel. Lots of snow for Wyoming. Wow, Paula says, indeed. I don't see stars active. Charlene, there's something going on with the stars here on the Facebook platform is what Charlene is thinking of. So thank you for your desire to support Hutch Through Stars. I'm working with Facebook to try to solve it, but it's taking way too long, and I appreciate that. Hi from Comstock. Let me take a look at some photos uploaded today. I got a video. This is a video from a viewer, and you can upload your photos and videos right here at hutchesweather.com. Check this out. Now, as you take a look, there's a scene of what it looked like in Wilmer, Minnesota. So here we go. Wilmer, Minnesota, a little bit today. Now, this is what we would call white rain making its way through. Simon, thank you for sharing the beautiful colors out there. I didn't know if you planned on white, but that's what we got going through the Wilmer area right now. Spooky snowfall, says Simon. Thank you very, very much for sharing your video and uploading it to hutchesweather.com. And in Detroit Lakes, Julia captured these trumpeter swans out there. Amazing birds, and it has been a birdie year across parts of Lakes Country this year, with a lot of migration going on. And of course, it's All Hallows Eve, and this fella has been wandering around my studios here. This was uploaded by yours truly. It says, gotta eat more, the doc said. So a little spicy pepper they're going on. Okay, that's a look at that. Now, you have shared some photos of your furry trick-or-treaters out there. This is Allison in the Grand Forks area. And let me introduce you to Ruger, Nova, and Lucy. All ghosts this year. And you know what? I bet they have them more licks than booze, but they're going to be cute out there. So thanks for sharing. And another one, a lot of fun out there on Halloween. No snow in Abercrombie. Pam sharing. This is Frankie and Huey, warming up by the fire. It's fall. So thank you so very much. I'd love to have your uploads of any reports that you have of snow. Maybe stick a ruler in it and snap it, because I know that some of that wet snow, it melts pretty quickly when it hits the ground this time of year. Snowfall is different than what we measure oftentimes as well, because it does have a tendency to melt down pretty quickly. All right, that's a look at Hutch's weather right now. And again, let's get right back to the radar to go with a closing look at that as we leave you here. What you are going to be up against as you head into the evening, if you're traveling in the Twin Cities, rain will transition to snow right about the St. Cloud area. And as we head into the evening hour, more of this activity will be pushing to the north and east in towards Thunder Bay, Ontario, on into the UP, as well as northern portions of Wisconsin. It's going to be a cold and wet Halloween for those areas. For us here in the Red River Valley and much of North Dakota, it will be very cold tonight, with trick-or-treaters expecting temperatures that will be, ooh, burr. So that's your weather. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson appreciating all of you for watching. For now, have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll check back in with an update a little bit later.